Yeah, it's rare you get a great goaltending matchup and then completely reset and have two more great goaltenders, but that's what we've got. It's going to be a fun one here today.
Here we go, underway right away. The Duluth Bulldogs here, throw it on net. The rebound came right to Reese Hunt, and she fires high and wide. Hunt was quiet last night in the game, only 2 shots on goal. She's the leading scorer for this UMD team after transferring from Bemidji State after a 4-year stay there, and was one of the top players for the Beavers. Now the Bulldogs in her own end here. It's Nina Jobst-Smith with Tova Henderson, the pairing there. They'll get it up to the blue line, and Minnesota will hold it in. Both teams are changing here. Minnesota will swap out all 5 skaters. Olivia Wallen, who is a transfer from Penn State, had her pocket picked by Maggie Nicholson, will dump it in. Minnesota chasing after it, but the Bulldogs are quick here to release and get it out to center ice again. As I said, a defensive posture last night by not only Minnesota Duluth, they are defensively one of the best in the country. Minnesota took a much more different position as well, and it's something I talked with Coach Brad Frost here before the game. It's something, well, we're just going to have to get used to it here because we have to play a defensive style game here if we want to be successful in the WCHA and the NCAA tournament.
Much more of a take what they give you approach, more so than forcing the issue themselves, and they're going to have to definitely tighten up down the stretch here if they want success in the tournament.
Emily Zumwinkle, outlet for Peyton Hemp on the right side. Here, Hemp from center ice dumps it wide of the goal, but Gasco there locks it down. Quickly off as Paula Bergstrom here trying to spring the third wing right winger now, Grace Sedura, who will ring it around here in the Minnesota zone. But here's Lauren O'Hara up to the red line, bouncing puck. Oh, and a little misplay there by Gasco, but able to smother the puck here before O'Hara can reach in with that long stick of hers. Gasco, 3rd best save percentage, which is, again, a good stat to have if you on a team, but she's 2nd best in save percentage on her own team.
Really unbelievable. We saw McLeod last night, absolutely stood on her head for this Bulldogs team, and Gasco started both the games in the UMN series earlier this year, so she has some familiarity going up against the Gophers.
Reese Hunt trying to beat Madeline Wethington to the net in the Gopher zone. Madeline using the stick here to knock it away, but now centered in front. Wallen trying to find Clara Van Weeren, knocked away, and a turnover at the blue line. Reese Hunt up for Jope Smith, and she fires into the skates of Madeline Wethington, but again, Jope Smith, another shot here, sticked away by Lucy Morgan. Well, Duluth comes out the aggressor here in the opening minutes of the first period of play. Minnesota here will relieve things as here comes Abby Murphy up. Tried to thread one ahead for Huber. It was just a little bit out of her reach. Now the Bulldogs slow it up here in their own zone. Tova Henderson fires it in. Here's Mary Kate O'Brien. She scored the lone goal last night for the Bulldogs. Loose puck comes out. The Bulldogs have it, but then the pass back to the line off the mark, and so they'll have to reset.
Boy, this feels like a night and day different team than what we saw in the early goings last night. UMD very much playing on their heels for a lot of the first period, but they've been the aggressors here in the early going. We'll see if that continues to take shape.
Now chance here, Lowry for the Bulldogs with Sedura, but the pass never made it through. Now the Gophers pass here off the stick of Kaiser. Last night the Gophers passing and puck movement just a little bit off, and here again we see that just a little bit off, and it'll result in an icing call here as Neunzert threw it ahead too far for Kaiser. Come back here to the Minnesota zone for this draw.
Yeah, first period last night we were talking about a pregame kind of a stuffy type of game. Neither team really able to generate chances in space, but we've seen just the opposite here in the first 4 minutes, especially UMD really able to play in space, and it's going to serve to their benefit here as they look to generate more offense.
We saw the split screen with the goaltenders and their numbers. Good numbers on both sides. As I said, 3rd best save percentage by Gasco. Lucy Morgan, a former All-American, 2nd team All-American at St. Lawrence. So she has known success as well. Maybe not so much in the win-loss column, but definitely made her mark at St. Lawrence here after playing 2 years at Maple Grove High School. And that was after her stint growing up in Mandan, North Dakota. So a well-traveled goaltender Lucy Morgan, but coming back to Minnesota, more of where her roots are, to finish off her playing career. Here is Van Wieren again, player at the front of the net. Olivia Wallen waiting for that one. The pass never got through. Now Van Wieren tries to center again. Hemp there to intercept. Ava Lindsay had a pretty good game last night for Minnesota. Quiet, though, in the scorebook. A lot of players were, never mind, but definitely made her presence known on the ice last night when she was out there. Now the Bulldogs set up. This is Bergen. Henderson at the blue line, firing wide of the Gopher net. Audrey Wethington had it, overskated. Now it is played to the far wall, this time by Maggie Nicholson. Again, one of the seniors honored today. And of course, her and Audrey do have another year of eligibility. Whether or not they're back here again will be a question that will be answered over the summer. But I would definitely think that the coaching staff would welcome both back if they decided to come back for a 5th year. Now the Bulldogs dump it back in. We are closing in on the 6-minute mark of the first period. Shots are 2-2. Here comes Huber out of her own zone. Dodges the poke check of Katie Davis. Enters the zone with possession. Centers, and that one for Murphy or Bouvang, but again broken up by a UMD stick. Now Bouvang shoots. I think Murphy might have caught a piece of that one. Hits high off the glass behind the UMD net. Now Baskin. Outlet for Davis. Good sharp pass here for Gabby Kraus at the blue line. Throws it on goal. And although Morgan probably could have played that puck, she'll elect to hold on here. 13:41 left.
That odd man rush there sprung by Huber in the other way. Interesting note, they were able to catch the UMD 4th line out there. We'll see if that's something that continues to develop here as Coach Frost likes to use his last change privileges as we take a look at the UMD bench. Mara Kroll leading this group in her 9th season, really starting to turn this UMD program around, a perennial power, and definitely returning to that status here.
Oh, off the face-off set play to Reese Hunt out front, but she did not redirect that pass on goal. And now Murphy will get it out ahead here. Bouvang at the blue line. This will be offsides on Minnesota. And we talked about last night about the success of the Bulldogs early in the history of the WCAJ. 5-time national champion. Last time, though, was 2010. Mara Kroll has returned them to prominence. A couple of Frozen Four appearances, including one national championship game appearance in her tenure there at Minnesota Duluth. Of course, there was a little talk after Katie Stone retired at Harvard whether or not that Mara Kroll would be interested in that job or not. Actually ended up going to one of her assistant coaches, Laura Bellamy. Now this will be an icing on Minnesota Duluth.
Taylor Stewart with a nice chance there from left wing side. Of course, we've talked a lot over the weekend about her history in UMD. She's tied for 4th on the team in block shots, so really making an impact on both ends of the ice, both in the D zone and O zone.
Hit exactly at the 7-minute mark. Icing call on Minnesota Duluth. And Minnesota will win the face-off. Nellie Lightnin on the right point here. Throws it off the pad of Peyton Hemp. Bouncing puck cleared by Danny Bergen. Swept to the Minnesota blue line by O'Brien. Now picked up by Ava Lindsay, but her pass through a UMD skate deflected, in the Bulldogs at their own line here now. Heading north and south. This is Bergstrom at the Minnesota line. Got slowed up, would have been offsides. Minnesota now counter-attacking here. Audrey Wethington, fans on a shot, got the puck back, and then off the wall, came out front. But it's the Bulldogs there that are able to clear the puck. Now Davis trying to push this one through the skates of Emma Kreis. Nice job there covering up that puck was Nellie Lightnin. Now the Gophers at the other end. Long shot O'Hara from the wall. Blocker off by Gasco. Zumwinkle in shooting wide, glove side. Baskin pinned to the wall. Gopher is able to win this battle here as Zumwinkle carries it over to the point. Another shot, this time deflected off of Brenna Furman wide of the UMD net. A clear is held in again by Minnesota. Emma Kreis with a chance, snaps one off. The puck comes right down. And then at the whistle here, Audrey Wethington had her stick lifted out of her hands.
For the Audrey Wethington group to light the lamp here as we play on.
Now the Bulldogs, Van Wieren coming across the blue line. Van Wieren third in the scoring for UMD this season. Really has come on after a couple of quiet seasons, but again, made the most of her time here. Oh, then Baskin kind of lost an edge here, working against Murphy, but Van Wieren recovers. Leaves it for Baskin on the near side wall, up for Hunt. Hunt will dump the puck in from the center ice line. Here's Taylor Stewart, the former Bulldog player. Gets run into the wall by Wallen. Minnesota breaking out now. Here's Murphy. Murphy trying to thread one through the skates of Mary Kate O'Brien. Kaiser gets pushed down. We're going to have a penalty here on the Bulldogs. A little delay call there on the penalty by Guy Bradshaw, one of our referees. But it's Minnesota that's going to get the early power play, an advantage to Minnesota here, although their power play, yeah, it was a pretty decent call.
Yeah, Henderson arguing it as she goes to the box. That's about as cut and dry as they're going to come now. The Gophers 1 for 4 last night on the man advantage, just about 38% on the year. That's where they got their lone goal last night, with Abby Murphy lighting the lamp, her nation-leading 12th power play goal of the season.
So it's the best power play in the country going up against one of the best penalty kills in Minnesota Duluth. The Gophers, well, like you said, 1 for 4 in the power play. 2 of those power plays, though, were abbreviated power plays. One was only 50 seconds long, and the other one was only 0.4 seconds long.
That's right.
Came at the very end of overtime. Madeline Wethington will set it up here for Minnesota from the blue line. She shoots and scores. It might have been deflected in. Let's wait and see who leads the pack here through. It will be Kaiser that will lead them. And so Minnesota gets on the board here. Madison Kaiser, her 7th goal of the year.
Power play comes through once again for the Gophers with this strong Bulldog goaltending unit. You know you have to get some kind of traffic out front to beat them, some kind of misdirection. This time it was the sophomore Kaiser getting out in front, getting a tip on the shot from the point. It's her 7th of the year, and the Gophers have the early advantage.
And just her first power play goal of the year. That's a little bit surprising. She's been on that power play unit for the whole year there, Will. And it's, like I said, it's such an outstanding power play unit. Both 1 and 2 have been very productive. So hard to believe that's her first power play goal, but it puts the Gophers on the board 1-0 here early in this one. So Madeline Wethington and Ava Lindsay will get the assists on that goal. Minnesota gets on the board first here at the midway point of the period on the power play again. I was about to say the penalty kill here. Now Duluth with a chance though. Man and McMahon to the net. It's swept away by Zumwinkle. As Hemp will lead the charge back out with Zumwinkle at the blue line here. Gophers get it to the front here and sticked away by Gasco.
McMahon couldn't bury going back on that one, but she has 13 shots in the first 3 games against the Gophers. Definitely someone that the Bulldogs want to get going offensively.
Now here's Murphy. Always got to keep an eye on Murphy here on that backhand especially. Got it on goal off the stick of Gasco. The clear is held in by Stewart. Stewart had a little bit extra in her step last night against her former teammates. Minnesota resets again. Here's Stewart. Back to Wethington on the right. Slot here shoots. That hits skates in front. Give the block to Baskin. 25 blocks last night, by the way, Will, by Minnesota Duluth. I forgot to check if that's a season high, but I got to believe it. It is, if it's not, it's very close to a season high in block shots. This one gloved and dropped here by Stewart in the offensive zone, and then the puck gets caught up on the side of the net Sedura for the Bulldogs centers, intercepted by Wethington. Now Jenna Lowry forces her back into the left corner. Puck comes free here. Murphy comes in, swoops it up for the Gophers, and then just pop this in the air. Almost hit the rafters. No icing, though, as the Bulldogs possess, as it will be Sedura coming out here, working against Wethington. Pumps it into the Minnesota zone as the Bulldogs change. Maggie Nicholson comes to the near half wall, works it in front of the Gopher bench, but it's pinned there by Wallen for the Bulldogs. And now Emma Price started in front of her net, left it in the corner. Nicholson reverses the puck. Now Price loses it. Thrown towards the front by Wallen. Chance for Van Wieren now. And that one through the goal crease out the far side.
Boy, we saw the Mary Kate O'Brien goal last night coming on a similar turnover in the D zone. That's something they're going to have to tighten up, because the Bulldogs will take advantage of those turnovers as they almost did there.
Been a while since a whistle here, but finally got some flow to a game. Really didn't seem like we had much flow last night. This could be an icing, though. No, they wave it off as Wallen, I think it was, that got to the puck first. O'Brien up to the line, quick shot, blocked. It's Ida Carlson with the shot, as it's Ava Lindsay who picked up the assist on that power play goal, leading the charge back. Off for Peyton Hemp, far wall. Drop pass for Taylor Stewart. Stewart's shot never got through as Carlson goes down to a knee to block. Lindsay picks it back up for Minnesota. Cross ice pass to the right point. Madeline Wethington into the middle. Hemp couldn't handle the pass. Now sweeps it below the goal line. Ava Lindsay picks it back up. Half wall, throws it on goal, knocked down by Gasco. Face-off will be in the Duluth zone. 6:24 left. Puck pulled back. Murphy. Now Bouvang, high slot. Shoots it towards the net. Knocked down in front. Another block there by Minnesota Duluth. So they're starting to mount up here early on already. They're credited. Well, I just have them for 2 blocks on the live stats feed, but I think they got a few more than that already here in this first period.
You can definitely see the philosophical change from Brad Frost, really just trying to get traffic out front. As you see, I think that's Kaiser out front posted up. No, that's Huber, check that, but just trying to get any kind of bodies in front of Gasco in front. That's what led to their first goal, and that's what's going to let them have continued offensive success.
Long breakout, Huber in, Murphy on the weak side, but as Huber cut to the middle, good reach in there. Poke away by Nita Jope-Smith. Cleared, but no icing, as it doesn't make the goal line in the Minnesota end. Cleared out by Stewart and then shot right back in by Furman for the Bulldogs. Easy save there for Lucy Morgan. Clock ticking down here, 5:20 to play in the opening period. Maddie Kaiser, power play goal for Minnesota. Now Wethington turns it over at the center ice line. Davis in, has to pull up at the half wall. We'll ring it around. Grace Sedura will get there first. Up to the point, Henderson back across for Jope-Smith. Nice reach by Audrey Wethington. Poked the puck away, but did not get out of the zone. And Minnesota will gain possession here. Wethington's clear read is deflected. Almost came right to Mann and McMahon right between the circles. And the Gopher is able to get that puck out of the zone and into the Duluth end.
Good active stick there by Mary Kate O'Brien to force that turnover in the D zone. Obviously scored the goal last night. She's been active here in this series.
This one will be swept in by McMahon to the Minnesota end. Zumwinkle retreating behind her own net. Turns away from the sophomore Bergen. Gophers bottled up a little bit here now. Turned over. Van Wieren off for Reese Hunt. Reese Hunt will swing the puck, reversing it to the far wall. Olivia Wallen is there. Plays it up to the blue line. Long shot. Redirected Van Wieren. And I think Morgan just got enough of that to just deflect it past the far post. Furman another shot. Van Wieren another good stick there. Got a piece of it.
Man, have a shift, Claire Van Wieren. Have to feel like she's due for one here. Maybe get her 13th of the season.
And finally, Minnesota gets the puck out of the zone. Van Wieren Just one goal in her career against Minnesota, and scored the lone goal of the entire series last week against St. Cloud State. But is third in the scoring for her team. That includes a hat trick back in October against Long Island. Kaiser, the power play goal early with the puck, goes colliding. Oh, pretty good collision there with Carlson. Carlson probably got the better of that. Their train wreck behind the Duluth net. 3:15 to play in the period. Shots are 7-6 Minnesota. We're going to have another power play here on Duluth. Here's a center attempt popping up into the air. Kaiser trying to knock it down. And the Gophers are going to go back on the power play. We're going to have an interference this time as it's Ida Carlson, the freshman defender from Sweden, that'll head to the box for Minnesota Duluth.
We'll get another look here. Murphy took quite a lick along the half wall. Yeah, good little shoulder check there. But as we said, this game's really been relatively even 5-on-5. It's these continued penalties from Minnesota Duluth that allowed the Gophers to get their first goal, and now their nation's best power play group is going to get another chance here.
Gophers are 3 for 12 this year on the power play against Duluth. Murphy wanted the slap shot, was blocked, got it back, and then the Bulldogs are able to clear. Was just trying to complete a thought here back when Minnesota scored the power play earlier in the period. The Bulldogs' penalty kill had been very good. They had 19 straight kills up till the power play last night that they gave up against the Golden Gophers there. And second best penalty kill in the WCHA, sixth best in the country. And the Gophers are having a hard time getting set up here on this one.
Yeah, not quite as crisp as their first group. Granted, they still have about 1:20 left, but hopefully set up shop and get a couple good looks here on Gasco.
And 3 Bulldogs lined up across the blue line. The Lightning will carry it across. Handoff for Peyton now. Gophers finally set up. Bouveng, bottom of the circle for Hemp. Quick shot, and that one ramped up high by Lowry. Gophers, though, get the rebound. Murphy, right wing side through the circle. Now behind the net here, still with the puck. Murphy carries out, still with the puck. Murphy still with the puck on her forehand. Now shoots, looks short side. How many times have we seen Murphy bury that one, but she missed it that time?
She had some room up high, too, on the glove side of Gasco. What a skating display by Murphy, though, going all the way around town and able to get a good look.
And the Bulldogs relieve the pressure by golfing this one all the way down. So the second unit comes out for the final 30 seconds of this advantage. This is the unit that scored. Here comes Emma Kreis, left wing, drops it off for Lindsay. Lindsay, bottom of the far circle, now skates in behind the Duluth net. 18 to go in the power play. To the blue line, Wethington over for Kreis. Kreis on the left wing, now trying to go back door, comes out front. And the Gophers could not get a shot away as Wethington got caught up with the stick of Reese Hunt, and that should do it. As penalty time is over, Ida Carlson back on here. And both teams are back at full strength. We have 60 seconds to play here in the first period.
You're welcome.
Minnesota in just onside, dumped in by Audrey Wethington as sister Madeline goes after it. Jope Smith, though, will pop it out. Look out, here's a chance as the Bulldogs on a breakaway. And stonewalled, Mannon McMahon gets stonewalled by Lucy Morgan. Big save there for Morgan here in the final minute.
We talked about McMahon earlier, someone they want to get going, and what better way to get going than with the breakaway, but Morgan able to stand tall and shut the door here in the waning moments of the first.
25 to play here as the Bulldogs now break out again out of their own zone. Danny Bergen to the Minnesota line. Chips it in past Lightning. Taylor Stewart there, knocks it far wall. Abby Murphy will flip it into the air, out to center ice. It ricochets back here to Huber. 9 seconds to go. Gophers passably one last rush here, but Bouveng's pass for Huber in the high slot misses. Bulldogs clear it out to center, and that'll do it. First period has come to an end. They've been a tough matchup for the Gophers all season long as every game has been a closely contested contest. Well, underway here with period 2 as the Bulldogs here in maroon moving from left to right. They get it into the Gophers zone. Gophers will quickly out. Here comes Ella Huber across the blue line, gives it off for Taylor Stewart, pushes it wide of the net, but Gasco puts a stick on it anyway. Tova Henderson chips it up, deflected off. Here is Van Wieren out through center. Huber comes from behind to pick her pocket, and then Henderson pokes it back out to center. Van Wieren with some room into the Gophers zone. Stewart on her. As Van Wieren shoots the puck into the stick of Stewart, the Gophers will come away with the puck with Bouvin.
First few minutes of the first period definitely went towards the Bulldogs. The Gophers looking to avoid a similar fate here, hopefully possess the puck a little bit more and prevent the odd man rushes as we're seeing back the other way.
Here comes McMahon, hard cut to the net, centers, and this one poked away from the front of the Gopher cage. Now McMahon again here, on her backhand, sends it through the top of the crease area. As Bergen was there, but could not get a stick on it. Minnesota back here, Peyton Hemp gets the pass from Kaiser, but it's whistled down. Frosty been around for a long time. He's actually I talked about this last night. He's the fourth winningest Division I women's coach in history, only behind Mark Johnson of Wisconsin, Mike Sisti of Mercyhurst, and the now retired Katie Stone of Harvard. So some good company to be in as far as your coaching career goes. Brenna Furman loses an edge here. She's battling Solveig Neunzert, but the puck still came out front. Nobody home for Duluth. Now Baskin steps around one player, fires on goal. Morgan steps out, puts the blocker on it, and makes the stop for the Gophers.
Bulldogs with some more offensive pressure here in the first couple of minutes, but good work again by Morgan. Great positioning on that one as she was square to the puck and didn't give him much to shoot at.
Van Wieren will take this puck, swings behind Gasco in the UMD end. Coming up ice, got past one player, got past two, trying to get past a third. Nice low shot, Morgan there with the stick there as Van Wieren trying to go 5-hole. Now the center pass here, deflected in between the circles. Wethington trying to clear, but it's held in by Reese Hunt. Now Madeline Wethington with a long cross ice for Audrey. Cutting into the middle here, firing stick side. Blocker saved by Gasco. Good move there by Audrey. Now Lauren O'Hara with another shot, blocked by Van Wieren this time. Audrey Wethington settling the puck down, gets it to the side of the net. Here's Kreis, the freshman from Hungary. Hands off, Taylor Stewart now engaged in deep. Center for O'Hara, knocked away. Kreis just able to keep it alive momentarily. Now Wallen overskated the puck. Kreis still possessing here. Hands off for Audrey Wethington. Coming out, high slot over for Madeline. One-timer here as leaping over that shot was Abby Murphy, but Maddie didn't get much on that shot at all. But Minnesota here putting some good pressure on. Here's Nellie Leitinen, almost ran into Kreis. Leitinen on her forehand, shoots low, save. Audrey Wethington almost batted that in as Humer from the wall puts it off the blocker, Gasco. Now Nicholson, a shot. That went into the glove of the UMD netminder. Ella Huber on the doorstep waiting for the rebound, but it was not coming.
Boy, a great tie-up there in that last sequence by Van Wieren for UMD. Able to get the stick on and prevent the rebound as you get a replay here. It was Audrey Wethington waiting for it on the near post, unable to get a stick on it. Great play there by the senior forward.
Face-off win Murphy, Leitinen shot, hits traffic in front, and then trickles wide far post. This is Ida Carlson for Bergen on the half wall. Danny Bergen out for O'Brien. Nicholson, though, takes it away and then plays it off the back of the skid, Ella Huber. Ella in here. Oh, nice dance around Bergen, but then her pass for Murphy behind Murph. Tried to kick it to her blade. Got a piece of it, though, so no icing on Minnesota. Now Huber behind the net trying to center. Bouving there, gives it back for Huber, jamming it at the post. And it is kept up by Gasco, and then at the whistle here, of course, Abby Murphy there, stirring the drink, so
some extracurricular activities there as we get a great look at it from our overhead. Looks like Gasco had it covered up, and then toss a grenade in there. Why not?
Got there a little too late. Abby Murphy plays with that edge, but man, as Gopher fans, you got to love the way that she plays with that edge.
No love lost between these two sides either.
No. Long shot kept out by Gasco. Here comes Davis now in, working against Neunzert. Neunzert rides her into the wall, but Davis able to knock the puck around now to the near corner. Zumwinkel trying to jab it up for Lindsay on the near half wall. Lindsay comes away with it, finds Peyton Hemp now in the middle. Hemp through center ice, gives it off here for Kaiser. Kaiser with the lone goal, her shot partially blocked by Brenna Furman. Behind the net here, it's Ava Lindsay. Trying to center, looking for Peyton Hemp, and that pass was denied nicely by the defender Bergstrom. Gophers keeping the pressure on, though. Lindsay near the blue line has 3 Bulldog defenders around her, but Gophers still possess here. Stewart trying to center, looking for Kaiser. And again, Furman gets a piece of the puck here to deny that pass. Now finally settled down. Jenna Lowry, the junior here, gets it to the Minnesota blue line. Gophers trying to counter, but Olivia Wallen steps into that pass from Stewart. Back in. Puck behind the Gopher net here. Madeline Wethington plays it up to the blue line. And her sister Audrey trying to work her way through center ice. Hands off for O'Hara. Centers for Kreis. Back for O'Hara. Backhander on goal with that shot. Gasco covers it in the goal crease after a brief scramble. But good shot by Kreis. A little surprising there how quick she got rid of it. And it got through traffic.
Good release there on the backhand. The third line has really been solid all game long for this Golden Gopher squad. No exception there. And it really seems like the ice has kind of tilted here in the second period of play. First period, 5-on-5, really felt like it could go either way, but the Gophers really have established dominance here in the second frame.
I thought the third line was probably the most consistent line last night. Didn't generate any offense, but again, put the pressure on and kind of energized the team at times. Bulldogs Mannon McMahon here, starting her 168th straight game. That is a program record. She also ties Naomi Rogie for all-time games played in the Duluth jersey. Here's Bergen, has a chance here. Long shot and a rebound given up by Morgan, but it got past a couple of Bulldog players. Now again, McMahon here from the near circle fires on goal, high on Morgan. She's able to trap that though with the glove. Hold on to 13:49 to play here in the second period.
Again, the Bulldogs really looking to get Mannon McMahon going, and for good reason. Almost up there with the team lead in points, team lead in assists. Definitely a skilled playmaker, someone we've seen make multiple plays with her feet there as she cycled around the zone, tried to go short side high on Morgan, but good work there by the graduate goaltender to seal the post.
Face off in the Minnesota zone, it's Carlson. Into the corner, Kraus trying to center, deflected by a Minnesota stick back to the other end. Hannah Baskin for Carlson in their own zone. Now loose puck here, picked up by Van Weer into the Minnesota line, goes down, but picked up now by Hunt. She'll carry on into the right corner, tied up by Madeline Wethington. Dug out Bouvang. Bouvang's outlet pass too far, and it's going to be shot back in by Furman. Wethington again, working against Lowry. Huber will pick this one up on the half wall, leading the charge in on the far side. Loses the puck, but Murphy for Minnesota now. Right corner, reverses it around. Maggie Nicholson just off the bench here, plays it back into the corner. And nicely done by Bergstrom to keep that puck away from Murphy. To the side of the Bulldog net, Gasco for Furman. Working it for Sedura right in front of the Gopher bench here as Al Murphy picks it up. Trying to find Kaiser down low, and the pass was a little bit too far in front. In Murphy for Kaiser. Off the skates of Furman with a shot. Lindsay, rebound for the Gophers. On a cycle in the half wall, but it comes free to Bergstrom. Outlet for Kate Davis now. And the puck is going to be pushed into the Minnesota zone. Nicholson knocking it away from Davis. Kaiser for Lindsay. Lindsay just able to reach out, get a piece of the puck back in. Danny Bergen trying to use her jets here. Fires from the right circle on goal. Morgan there at the post on the near side to make the save with 12:02 left.
Morgan's 12th save of the game, rock solid as always, coming in with that .927 save percentage. She faced off against the Bulldogs back in November, made 28 saves in that game as well. Continues to pile up the counting stats on an already very, very impressive collegiate career.
Kind of a quiet high school career, kind of maybe off the radar there. Played her last 2 seasons at Maple Grove, and then not highly recruited, but found a nice home in St. Lawrence. Chris Wells, a very nurturing coach there, able to get the most out of her, actually more than I thought that he probably even expected. There is Lucy Morgan 2 years ago, second-team All-American. Now Mary-Kate O'Brien pulled that in with the hand as scrum continues on the end wall in the Minnesota zone. Price will chip it ahead. It's going to be held in, or is it? Yes, just onside. Held in by Tova Henderson. Bulldogs are changing. Wethington, nice pirouette to get away from the forecheck pressure. Now has some room. Off the stick of Price comes to Lauren O'Hara, who sweeps it in. Gasco behind the net. Hands it off for Jopes Smith. Now outlet Van Wieren through the center ice logo to the Minnesota line. We're at the 9-minute mark here of the period. Here's Hunt trying to center, knocked down by a Minnesota glove, and play whistled down here. We'll have a face-off in the Minnesota zone. Under 11 to play here. Long outlet misses Murphy, but Abby will get there first for Minnesota. Knocks the puck to the near side. Bouvang coming down hard. Back for Murphy from her knees to the line. Neunzert across Zumwinkle. Centers it, but Baskin there to knock it down in front. And here come the Bulldogs back left to right. Olivia Wallen working against Neunzert. Bottom of the circle, fires on goal. Rebound just sitting in the circle. Finally, Neunzert chips it off the glass. And the Gophers will break out here. Zumwinkle. Left wing pass, Bouvang at the blue line. Pops this into the air. Far corner, Furman outraces Huber to the puck. Now sends it up, Jenna Lowry. And she'll sweep it into the Minnesota zone. We're closing in on the halfway point here of this hockey game. Minnesota leads 1-0. Our only tally so far, a first period power play goal by Maddie Kaiser. Peyton Hemp trying to drop it for Kaiser. Bergen, though, on the back check here, picks it off. Danny Bergen with speed, but cut off well by Kaiser. Still Bergen plays it up. Tova Henderson to the front of the Minnesota net. Puck is knocked down by Maggie Nicholson. Got tripped up, allowing the Bulldogs to get the puck back. Now here's a long shot by McMahon, wide glove side. Bulldogs here. This line here has been very effective for the Bulldogs here. Mary-Kate O'Brien, Manon McMahon, and Danny Bergen.
Seems like if there is going to be a group to get through, as that's not a given with Lucy Morgan in goal, but if there was going to be one, that would be the group to light the lamp.
Minnesota wins the draw in their own zone. Here comes Emma Price. Snaps a long one on goal. Relatively easy save. Gasco holds on. 9:06 left to play here in the period.
It's not a save that's going to make any highlight reels, but Gasco coming down on the side as you take a look here just doesn't give her anything to shoot at. At the same time, with the back pressure, you know she's going to be able to slide across the crease to make that save. That's what makes her such a strong goaltender for this UMD team.
WCHA Rookie of the Week, Ev Gasco. She and her cohort, Haley McLeod. Oh, here's a dangerous shot from Wethington. Almost snuck in at the near post. Her and Haley McLeod, each semifinalists for Goalie of the Year. So Gasco, the only freshman on that list, by the way.
How rare is that? Both goalies coming from one team. That is remarkable.
Bulldogs possess. Tova Henderson, near circle. Outlet knocked down by Stewart right at the bench area. Now wall battle ensues. Puck comes free, and it's Stewart possessing. Slides it across. Lauren O'Hara ahead. Kreis at the line. Kreis winds up and really ripped this one high. Goes well over the crossbar. Actually over the glass and into the netting here with 8:33 left. Ev Gasco, 0-2 though against Minnesota in her career. She started both games for the Bulldogs at Amsoil Arena back in November on the 17th and 18th and lost a pair of 3-1 contests.
I believe there was a pair of empty netters in there as well, but 29 and 33 saves. Hard to chalk those results up to the goaltending.
Reese Hunt for the Bulldogs trying to spring Wallen. The pass was just a bit too far. However, no icing as Wallen will win the race to the puck. Hunt trying to play it up to the line, but well anticipated by Abby Murphy. Here she comes back, but Baskin with a good stick here to knock it away. Abby Murphy doing that nice dangle there and has made a fool out of more than one D, but not Hannah Baskin on that particular instant.
Boy, Leighton got tripped up on the near side. There was a collective of fans here, and myself included, who were kind of expecting a call there, but we play on.
And the puck comes out of the Minnesota zone. Brenna Furman has to chase it down back at her own line. Now the Bulldogs enter, knocked down by Leitinen at the far wall. And it'll be Huber trying to start up Murphy. And again, another good stick there by Furman to deny the pass. And it's fortunate that she did. That was a tough one, too, there, because it was a bouncing puck. If that one got through, it would have been Murphy on maybe a breakaway.
Another one of those plays. It's not going to make the highlight reel, but those are the plays you've got to make in a one-goal hockey game.
Now Minnesota delaying entry, but now Maddie Kaiser will carry in right corner, loses the puck. Ava Lindsay comes in, picks it up for Minnesota. Near hash mark, spins away from Furman. Lindsay again now reverses her field. Sanders, here's Hemp, she scores! Ava Lindsay with a perfect pass and Peyton Hemp one-times it past Gasco. And once again, this third line here putting the pressure on for Minnesota. They get the goal. It's an even strength goal. And for Peyton Hemp, it will be her 13th of the year. Look at that pass, though, by Ava Lindsay.
Beautiful feed, but how about Maddie Kaiser out in front generating the screen? We've talked about it all afternoon long. You've got to get traffic out in front. All three members of that line playing a role there. The Gophers with a 2-goal lead, just under 7 to go here in the second.
And once again, it's that Hemp, Kaiser, Lindsay line that has, again, provided the spark for Minnesota, as they did most of the game last night, in my opinion. And they get the even strength goal to put the Gophers up by 2. So big goal there, big cushion for Minnesota. Now the pressure on Minnesota Duluth to come from behind. Here we take that overhead look at the goal by Peyton Hemp, beating Gasco to the glove side, just inside the post.
Ava Lindsay, always been a playmaker, even dating back to her time at Minnetonka High School. Able to make a really nice play there in the corner, send it out front. Peyton Hemp sends it home. Gophers up by 2.
Nice freshman campaign by Lindsay. That's her 22nd point of the season. I take that back, because she also got an assist on the power play goal earlier today. So 2 points today for Ava Lindsay, as the Gophers are ice the puck here. So faceoff comes back in the Minnesota zone.
2-goal lead against this Minnesota Duluth squad that has struggled for offense really all season long. That's not their game. They're not going to be a team that comes out and scores in bunches. Coach Frost has to be feeling good about where his team's at.
So multi-point games, by the way. Maddie Kaiser picked up the other assist on that goal. So 2-point game so far for Maddie. 2-point game for Ava Lindsay. And Minnesota leads 2-0 here. We're closing in on the 14-minute mark of the second period. The Hemp goal coming at 13:04 of the second. Carlson gets past Stewart. Now picked up by Wallen. Bottom of the circle here. Her shot never got through. Blocked that time by Wethington. Here's a quick outlet now coming the other way. Peyton Hemp pulls up the top of the circle as the Gophers were changing. Now hands off. Kreis snaps one off in the near dot. Got to be careful, Emma Kreis. She can have a rocket of a wrister, but Gasco was there to square up and catch that one. Here on the near side of the goal crease.
Yeah, Hemp kind of pulled up on that rush. I think she's expecting someone to make a break on the far side, but her teammates went off for a change. Tough break there for Hemp, of course, fresh off that goal. Had she known her teammates were going off, might have tried for a second one, but we play on.
A goal by Peyton Hemp, her 6th in her career now against Minnesota Duluth. She has 13 points against the Bulldogs in her career, which is the active leader now, but we're going to have a penalty here on Minnesota for a high stick, and Minnesota Duluth will get a break here at the 14:24 mark as Emma Kreis is going to go to the penalty
number
box.
13 on a minor high stick.
Kreis heads off, serving penalty minutes number 29 and 30 on the year. UMD 0 for 2 on the man advantage last night, going up against an exceptional penalty kill on the other side. The Golden Gophers just under 91% on the season, but hey, if you want to get back in a 2-goal hockey game, a power play tally is just the place to start. We'll see if the Bulldogs can get anything going here on the man advantage.
Their power play just over 18% on the season. Hunt looking back door. Wethington just got a piece of it. And then another shot here by Van Wieren. Never got through, and the Gophers are able to clear it all the way down. Penalty kill numbers for Minnesota, 97 out of 107 this year. That is 5th best in the NCAA, 2nd best in the WCHA. I take that back, that's best now in the WCHA. Oh, they give up the puck right in front, and a chance for the Bulldogs here, but Lucy Morgan with the stop. Boy, Man and McMahon maybe could have faked the shot, pulled that puck as Lucy Morgan had committed, but yeah, she had to shoot quick, I guess. Taylor Stewart was there, but man, what a bad turnover there for Minnesota. Right to the front of the net and right to one of the top goal scorers here for Minnesota Duluth.
McMahon, an agent of chaos, always making stuff happen, but good work by Morgan there to be alert and seal the post. Always prepared for what's coming, and she makes save number 16 on the contest.
1:10 to go in the power play. Minnesota Duluth has to start back, though, 200 feet away as the Gophers were able to clear. Tova Henderson with some room. Out of the Minnesota line and had her pocket picked by Peyton Hemp, who sends it back to the Bulldog zone. Jope Smith racing back. Lightning poked it away, but now Wallen enters and will carry far wall. Trying to set up the power play. Fan on the pass back to the blue line for Henderson, and now it's pinned there by the Gophers' Maggie Nicholson. And we're going to have not a penalty, I apologize. A player got knocked down to the ice, and the puck was covered up, so referees blow the play dead here. 37 seconds left in the advantage for Minnesota Duluth. There you see Minnesota Duluth and the Gophers swapping WCHA spots in the penalty kill. Last night the Bulldogs had the #1 spot, but they gave up a power play goal. Last night gave up a power play goal today. The Gophers, knock on wood, if you're a Gopher fan, so far killing this one off nice. Now Murphy here shorthanded one-on-one against Baskin. Murphy trying to cut to her left. Oh, Gasco falling down. But fortunately for the Bulldogs, Hannah Baskin got back, played that as about as good as you can play it. And it stops the shorthanded attempt. The Gophers have had 6 shorthanded goals this year, but they haven't had one since Thanksgiving weekend against Cornell. And now here's Mary Kate O'Brien trying to jam it home. Rebound, Van Wieren, stopped by Morgan. Diving Murphy, able to knock it out of the zone.
The Bulldogs able to get a pair of scoring chances on the man advantage, but not the typical type of, structure that you set up. Both of them just kind of coming off turnovers right in front of the goal mouth. Good work by Morgan once again to slam the door and keep the shutout going.
Maddie Kaiser enters the zone now. To the corner, puts on the brakes, feeds it into the middle. Ava Lindsay with a backhander, didn't get much on it, and Gasco makes the glove save. We got 3:07 left here in period 2. Minnesota 2-0 over the Bulldogs.
It's that Hemp line causing chaos once again. Another scoring chance out in front. They have had a game. It's going to be hard to pick a player of the game between those three. All three of them have really, really been solid.
Face-off win Bulldogs trying to ring the puck out, but it's cut off by the Gophers. However, it's Katie Davis that's able to get it out for Jenna Lowry, but her pass to the Minnesota line picked off by Neunzert. Now Neunzert's pass deflects. Here's Ava Lindsay trying to start up, but again, Kate Davis. All sorts of pressure here for UMD. Lindsay to the blue line, knocked back out by Bergstrom. Now the Gophers will get it in, tipped by Hemp, right corner. Bergstrom will get there first, sweeps it behind the UMD net. And Furman will reverse it, but almost a near turnover below the goal line. Emma Price with a good forecheck for Minnesota along with Peyton Hemp. Maggie Nicholson at the line, holds it in. Andre Wethington battling with Van Weeren on the wall. Also Furman. Now O'Hara comes in. She gets tied up by Bergstrom. And skating out, or trying to skate out Van Weeren. She turns back behind her net. Now for Reese Hunt on the far wing wall, but didn't receive the puck cleanly. And once again, the Bulldogs have to retreat. Good pressure here by Minnesota. And the Bulldogs relieve it by just clearing the puck out of the rink.
Yeah, this third line really causing some pressure as you take a look here. The block shots for this UMD team, just gaudy numbers, and we're not even done with the second period. They've got 41 on the season series, or the weekend series, I should say, 60 on the season series. But this Gopher third line has been really solid, especially on the forecheck there, preventing Minnesota Duluth from breaking out. They've been, if the second line has been the better offensive group, the third line definitely making things happen defensively.
Oh, Gasco got a stick here on Murphy. Then Murphy got a stick up in the grill right in front of the referee. No call. That was contact to the head. And no call. Now at the other end, Reese Hunt here with a shot. And that one just deflected wide.
Now we've got some extracurriculars back behind the play as Stewart is tagged up with Wallen, and we continue to play on.
Now Murphy at the other end here for Minnesota with a shot blocked by McMahon. And the Bulldogs will race in here. 1 minute to go. Mary Kate O'Brien's shot into the skates of Stewart. Wethington started and returned back behind the cage. Pass for Bouvang. Bouvang's sweeping it forward here, but it's picked off by McMahon again, sent in. And things starting to get a little chippy here. McMahon bumped in the corner, pulls down Stewart. Now Huber digs it out. Murphy at the hash mark, trying to play it back behind. Bulldogs here get it to the net front, but nobody home. And this will be cleared here by Bouvang all the way down. Are we going to get an icing? Yes, we will. 17 seconds left.
Yeah, here late in the second, this is almost starting to feel a little bit more like yesterday's game, more physical. We've got some blows going back and forth. Officials don't seem too inclined to call anything on either side. Both 17 seconds remaining. Now we'll get a face-off to the blocker side of Morgan.
A tired group out there for the Gophers. See if the Bulldogs can take advantage. Get a late one here to pull within one before the horn. Van Weeren possessing the puck, but it's whistled down on a hand pass. And Minnesota will at least get some fresh legs out for the final 9 seconds of the period.
Yeah, it was Reese Hunt that went down on that one, and as she was pinned down there along the half wall, played it with the hand, and now we've got some discussion between Van Weeren and our officials here, and we'll play on with the neutral zone draw. 9 seconds to go.
Nobody getting possession of this one. Hemp, though, at the horn here, throws it on goal. But here we go, period 3. Gophers 17-0 when leading after 2. Right off the bat, Abby Murphy, a drive to the net. The backhander is stopped by Gasco. We talked about numbers, too, in the intermission, Will, that third period for Minnesota, goal differential, their best of the three, 20 plus 20 in goal differential in the third, while Duluth is a -4.
Yeah, Duluth really fighting an uphill battle here, obviously having to overcome the 2-goal lead, but against one of the best finishing teams in the country. It's going to take quite the effort here for Mara Kroll's team.
Here's Nina Jope-Smith, played it off the back wall, and it came right out front, and then Gasco wanted to cover and then decided to play it off. Now the Bulldogs here breaking into the Gophers zone. They got some numbers. Look out, man. And McMahon, she's had a good game for Duluth. Nothing to show for it yet. Still with the puck, though, McMahon. Now off for Carlson. Carlson got a shot all the way through. Big rebound by Morgan given up. Mary Kate O'Brien taps it back up. Carlson, bouncing puck, kept it alive. Bouncing puck out front. McMahon scores! Man and McMahon on the rebound, and just like that, the Bulldogs are back in. So throw the numbers away, Will. Well, Bulldogs are back in it.
It was really only a matter of time. McMahon, one of the top scorers for this Bulldog team. She had 13 shots in the first 3 games against the Gophers. Kind of snake-bitten as you take a look. It was tipped initially on the way in by O'Brien, who's had a great series. McMahon is right there on the doorstep to put it home. Goes blocker side low on the goaltender Morgan. Minnesota Duluth right back in it. Buckle up, folks. We've got an exciting finish for you.
So here we go, back to a 1-goal game. So Mary Kate O'Brien and Ida Carlson on the assist on that goal. Man and McMahon's 11th of the year. Her 5th against Minnesota in her career. And it's now 2-1 Gophers. So again, what was a nice little 2-goal cushion is now just a 1-goal lead. Emma Kreis back at the other end, shooting low, sticked away. Puck ends up far wall. Solveig Neunzert over there. Ashmark gets it to the front. Kreis got a tip on the puck, and then the rebound. O'Hara shoots it high and wide. And then it rolls back up on the side of the net and gloved out of the air by Gasco. Minnesota almost right back answering the goal by Minnesota Duluth. Kreis with a good tip, and then on the rebound, Lauren O'Hara had a chance.
That's an excellent, excellent answer shift by the Gophers to try to swing the momentum back. The last thing you want to do is let the ice continue to tilt. Great work to right the ship. And now they've got the top line back out there and a look right off the draw.
Right to Murphy, but her shot deflects off of a body. And the Bulldogs able to clear. Back in Minnesota, tipped in by Huber. Carlson will get to the puck, knock it to the near corner. Reese Hunt. Now ahead, this is Kraus at the Minnesota line, denied. Huber sends it through the skates of Bouvang into the Duluth zone. Hannah Baskin spins, plays it below the line. Carlson still on the ice. I don't know if she's ever left here so far here in this third period for Minnesota Duluth.
Interesting, UMD has Gabby Kraus jumping up to join that top group with Hunt and Van Wieren, so a little bit of line shuffling going on.
Stewart will backhand this one in. The Gophers will swap out all 5 skaters, so Baskin with some time here. It's the outlet. McMahon trying to give and go here with Bergen. Knocked down by Maggie Nicholson, sent back, and the icing is waved off. Under or past the 3-minute mark here, the third. The Bulldogs with an early answer here on this one. And now a long saucer pass for O'Brien misses, and this will be an icing on Minnesota Duluth. But the early answer here by Minnesota Duluth, Man and McMahon's 11th of the season, has put the Bulldogs back very much in this hockey game. Just a 2-1 Minnesota lead now.
Face off here to the glove side of Gasco. She is tough to beat. The Gophers, I would wager to say, pretty lucky to get 2 past her, and it's going to be even tougher to get a third. Really going to have to tighten down in the defensive end and hopefully ride the strength of their goaltending to a win.
Bulldogs had to touch up after the dump in, so Lightnin back. Now turns behind Morgan, finds Nicholson on the far wall. Outlet deflected by a Bulldog stick into the UMD zone. Furman there first. Oh, Peyton Hemp running her down there as Hemp comes out with the puck. Out front here for Kreis. Top of the circle, leaves it for Neunzert. To the right, Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle will carry it to the hash mark. Bottom of the circle, center pass. Kreis banging at it, hit the outside of the net. And then Furman carries the puck out, hands it off, and Sedura will dump it in. But another icing here on Minnesota Duluth.
Just a bit behind the line there. Maybe thought she had the line to gain, went glassing out. We get icing here, 15:50 to go. Should be an exciting finish here from Ritter Arena in front of a very healthy crowd in the final game of the regular season.
Minnesota already knows they got Minnesota State Mankato next week, and Minnesota Duluth will be hosting St. Cloud at Amsoil Arena in the best-of-3 series first round. Furman trying to skate it out, falling down. Turnover at the line. O'Hara for Audrey Wethington. Audrey's been snake bit here the second half of the season, has not scored a goal since January the 6th against UConn. Been a long time here for Audrey. Kreis sends it back up the half wall, but it's going to be intercepted by Sedura, and Sedura sends it in. And this one's called no icing, although I thought it was more egregious than the last one. And now a long outlet for Minnesota. Audrey Wethington got tripped up, and no call there. Crowd wanting one.
Boy, Ida Carlson got her stick squarely in the blade there. The refs are letting them play on.
Furman, Van Weeren at the line. Shot knocked down to the Minnesota net. Van Weeren backhander, just getting a piece of it. Morgan keeping it out. Now the Bulldogs with possession. Van Weeren in the slot. Backhander again. Right pad save by Morgan. Baskin will send it through traffic out the far side. Now Ida Carlson to the blue line. Murphy picks it off. Baskin is back one-on-one. Murphy shoots. Baskin to block. Murphy, they're able to get the stick back on the puck here. And at the whistle, here we go. Sticks come up. And now they got to make a call.
Maybe we get some coincidental minors for roughing. Gasco lost her stick. It lays at the left circle. Good play, though, by Murphy to jump up on this one. Good shot block.
Got a piece
out in
there.
front.
And then the late skate in there. That was Boubang. A little late coming in.
You know, you remove one skater per side, it's just opens up that much more space for the Gophers forwards to thrive, and we'll see if they can't tack one on here. 14 and change to go.
Yet last night it was Minnesota Duluth that scored 4-on-4. So Kate O'Brien with the goal for Minnesota Duluth yesterday. 4-on-4. Plays in the Minnesota zone. Below the line, Madeline Wethington getting away from McMahon. Now Stewart pushes it up. Murphy loses it. McMahon on the possession here to the far wall. Turns back out. Oh, big collision. Mary Kate O'Brien, Abby Murphy here. Just a coincidental collision there. No intent at all. As Stewart trying to clear. Now Murphy trying to get to the bench, got tangled up there with a Duluth player. Now those two have to be separated. It's McMahon, the Bulldog, involved with that. Both get off the ice, though. None the worse for wear, so we're still 4-on-4. Now the Gophers having some problems here, almost coughed it up in front of their own net. Now here comes Lightning. Nice pass here from Nicholson. Nice high shot, knocked down Gasco. And it's the Bulldogs now picking up here in the near wall. Hunt back in, got past Nicholson. Hunt with a player to the net. That was Lowry, and a good stick denying the pass. I think that was Hemp that got back. Now slap shot, Tova Henderson. She caught it all, but misses the cage. Back comes Hemp here for Minnesota. Hemp gets tangled up, falls down, as Hunt will retrieve the puck and send it behind here for Baskin. 30 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Now Henderson entering the Gophers zone, chipping it past Stewart. able to get to the puck first, pushes it for Wallen on the hash mark. Now Wallen, free rein right to the net here. Shooting short side. Morgan there hugging the post, though. Makes the stop for Minnesota. 12:48 to go here. 2-1 Gophers.
She had Henderson there on the across the crease pass, but good work by Madeline Wethington to lock it down back there, allowing Morgan to just square up with the shooter and make another save. Save number 22 of the contest.
Shots are dead even right now here, Will. 23 apiece. It was 27-27 last night. Murphy will come in, win the faceoff against Wallen. Emily Zumwinkle skating it out, now ahead, tipped in by Murphy, wide of the net. Henderson will pick up after the carom off the wall. Behind the net is Joe Smith. Both teams are back at full strength as Bouvang and Van Weeren are out of the sin bin as Wallen will dump this into the Gopher zone. Zumwinkle across for Neunzert. Neunzert hands off Bouvang, weaving her way through neutral ice. Josephine Bouvang on her back into the net, fires. Oh, what a blocker save. That one was headed in top left corner, Will.
Well, I tell you what, Dan, I think she got that with the knob of her stick.
I think you're right.
Boy, a razor thin margin keeps this a one-goal game. What a save by Gasco. Save number 22. That might have been her best one of the game.
Van Weeren will lead the charge here and right to left for the Bulldogs. McMahon pushes it wide of the Gopher net. Lightning there first. Plays it away. Bouvang will pull it in on the far wing wall to the red line, trying to dump it in, but it's knocked down by Bergstrom. McMahon now circling in her own zone, cuts in front of the net. Up for Kraus, trying to chip it in, knocked down. Kreis can't dump it in as Bergstrom will play it forward. And now Kreis will get it into the Minnesota zone here and head to the bench on a change as clock continues to tick down here, closing in on the 9-minute mark of the third. Bulldogs with the lone goal so far here in the third. Here come the Gophers, though, on the charge. Wethington tries to maneuver around Jope Smith, lost the puck. Now Kreis with it, back out front. Audrey Wethington gets the shot away from the left circle, but right there squaring up was Gasco, and no rebound given up.
Boy, first two periods kind of up and down, back and forth. These teams seem to have drawn to a dead heat here in the third period of play. A very even first 9 minutes now as we get a complete unit change for the Gophers. And now I think they're going to prevent the Bulldogs. No, they'll let them get it off as they are able to get the fresh legs back out there. The 29s will come together on the draw.
Well, now they're going to bring Sedura back, though. But here's the third line for the Gophers. Kaiser, who got the power play goal in the first. Hemp scoring for Minnesota in the second. Neunzert trying to center Kaiser, broken up by Van Weeren to the corner. Battle ensues. Kaiser, Jope Smith battle. Puck comes up to the blue line. Peyton Hemp keeping it alive. Knocked down by Kaiser at the wall. Now slides across at the blue line here on her backhand. Will play it into the corner. Lindsay tried to give it right back, but it was denied. Knocked around now as the puck pinballs in the left corner. And Van Weeren back here the other way. Neunzert almost got a holding penalty there. She tied her up. A very awkward play there by Neunzert, but Gophers will get the puck to the blue line. Held in, though, by the Bulldogs. So clock, again, continues to tick down here. Almost halfway through the third period. And so far, the only goal of the period, Mann and McMahon for UMD on the rebound early in this third period. Now the Gophers deep in their own zone. Zumwinkle plays it behind, around. Neunzert off the wall, back into the UMD zone. Should be an icing call, and no, they wave it off. All right, a last-minute wave off there by the linesman. Now here's Abby Murphy with a steal, and Murphy to the net here, shooting glove side.
The Bulldogs are able to stay out of the box. It's been a big storyline throughout this series.
Anna Baskin with Carlson at the line. Carlson, a long shot that hits the backside of Reese Hunt. Madeline Wethington there with an outlet. Lauren O'Hara She'll skate it up to the center ice line. Dump it in left corner. Carlson will get there. Bank it for Baskin. Baskin near wing wall for Hunt. And this one will be chipped up into the UMD bench by Murphy. And on a play with 9:07 left here in the third period.
Touch over 9 minutes to play. You have to imagine that both these sides are going to start shortening the bench here in the waning moments of this one. You want to get your best skaters out there against the other team's best, especially for Minnesota Duluth, as they still look to add that second goal and send this one to the extra session.
Maggie Nicholson for the Gophers plays it in, but Tova Henderson first there. Danny Bergen can't clear. Nicholson faked the shot, now plays it off the wall. Bouvang able to pull it out of her skates, finds Abby Murphy. Oh, wind up in a big slap shot there by Murph right into the midsection though of Gasco.
Letting it fly there from between the dashes. It's a good look from Murphy, nobody in front of her. Might as well let it fly, 8:47 to go. Save number 25 for Gasco.
Murph has an incredible shot, doesn't matter what kind of shot. Wrister, slap shot, backhand. She lifts the backhand like nobody else I've ever seen. No points today for Murphy. As the Bulldogs trying to get out of their own zone. Murphy coming up with a steal. Can't get past Tova Henderson though. Behind the net, Bergen tied up as the puck comes to the side of the net and smothered at the post by Gasco.
Bergen and Murphy exchanging some pleasantries there in the corner, 8.5 to go. As we'll take a look, just kind of get tangled up and unable to free themselves. You get a face off here in the Bulldog zone.
Hemp comes in on this one. That's Van Heeren. Kaiser with Hemp on the near side. Kaiser in the corner. It's away from Carlson now. Out the far side. Got a pick from Stewart. No call there. Madeline Wethington for Kaiser. Quick shot. Couldn't pull the trigger fast enough. Carlson able to get in the way of that one for the Bulldogs. Now Hemp trying to center. Hit the side of the cage. Poked away by Gasco. And now the Bulldogs able to skate it out. This is Van Weeren turning back at her own blue line here. Under 8 minutes to play in the third. 2-1 Minnesota. Van Weeren will dump it in. Kaiser with Wethington. Wethington has Wallen on the forecheck. Wethington will skate behind Morgan in the Gopher net. Plays it off for Stewart. Stewart ahead. Ava Lindsay able to get a piece of the puck and clear this one into the Bulldog zone. Change here coming on for Minnesota. As this one will be cleared by Sedura. Should be an icing now here on Minnesota Duluth. So this one will come back in the UMD zone. Well, Jenna Lowry wins this draw against Emma Kreis. Jope Smith off the glass. Gets it out to neutral ice. Front of the bench area, Sedura for the Bulldogs. O'Hara for Minnesota. Lowry now pulls the puck in. And we'll dump it in. Emily Zumwinkle. And Neutzer falling down, losing an edge in the corner. That allows the Bulldogs here to get the puck on the wall. And now they will gain possession. Hunt for Henderson. Shooting wide off the blocker of Morgan. Ends up in the netting. So unfortunate event there is Solveig Neutzer loses the edge going after the puck. And that allowed the Bulldogs there to get the turnover and the shot.
UMD rolling with the man in the command group out there. They're talking things over on the face-off play. Right the hot hand. The second line for Minnesota Duluth has gotten both of the goals this series, so definitely a group that Coach Crowell wants out there.
Now this line here, watch out for them. They've scored, coming into the series, half the goals were scored by this line alone. So they're definitely dangerous when they're out on the ice. Here comes Hunt. Down the right wing wall, on the backhand. Didn't get much on it, was going wide, ends up in the glove anyway of Lucy Morgan with 6:23. Take a look at all the players with Minnesota roots, all here playing for the University of Minnesota.
Of course, we have the girls' state tournament going on over at the XL Energy Center. A couple of these players' alma maters represented. We've got Hill Murray and Edina in the AA finals.
Almost a steal here by Bouvang. Good job by the Bulldogs to prevent that from transitioning into a possible odd skater rush the other way. Huber behind the net. Van Weeren trailing here, trying to knock the puck away, and does. Comes up with a steal. Reese Hunt now tied up by 3 Gopher players. Couldn't get the shot away. Minnesota will clear it. Hannah Baskin, though, at the red line, intercepts, just nudges this one in. And Stewart will retreat behind her own net. And wanted to reverse the puck, and it's stolen by Lowry. Here's Bergen, and she loses it. And now back comes Bouvang for Minnesota. We have a delayed penalty here on Minnesota Duluth. Is Danny Bergen going to get called for a slash here, taking the stick out of the hand of Abby Murphy?
And that is killer. I was just about to make the point from the Gophers' point of view to stay out of the box, and now Bergen picks up her 10th penalty of the year. Penalty minutes number 19 and 20. Tough break there with 5.5 to go. Now you've got to kill the nation's best power play in addition to generating enough offense to force overtime. Take a look here, just brought the stick down, knocked it straight out of the hands of Murphy.
So big power play here for Minnesota, trying to get that 2-goal cushion back. And here is the unit that scored that power play goal in the first period. Emma Kreis with some room, squares up, shoots, she scores! There's that quick, hard release by Emma Kreis, beating Gasco to the glove side. Power play goal for Emma Kreis, her 4th power play goal of the year. The Gophers now back up by 2.
It took all of 13 seconds for the Gophers to get their 2nd power play goal of the game. Kreis with a beautiful release from the left circle, goes glove side high on Gasco. It's back up to a 2-goal lead for the Gophers, 5:22 to go. Here from Ritter.
Still plenty of time left, but 3-1 is a very familiar score between these two schools. The first 2 meetings in Duluth earlier this year were both 3-1 contests. So Kreis, the power play goal, and Minnesota back up by 2, but here comes Minnesota Duluth. Look out for them. Bergstrom taps this to the end wall in the Minnesota zone. Pops up into the air, down to the stick of Wethington. She clears to the near wall, but Baskin cuts it off. Runs into Peyton Hemp, falls down on top of the puck. Dug out by Wethington. Madeline Wethington through the slot area, off the wall. Ava Lindsay, trying to push it into the offensive zone. But the Bulldogs here will transition back in. Van Weeren to the blue line. Dumps it in. 4.5 minutes to play. And see how Minnesota handles this 2-goal lead here in the 3rd period.
Ava Lindsay picked up the assist on that power play goal. That's her first 3-point game since December 1st against Bemidji State. 3 assists for Ava Lindsay. That is a career high for her, and her 3 points, as you said, matches the Bemidji State game. Oh, here's a good chance now. Lowry, good shot there for Minnesota Duluth. Gets the puck back now, bottom of the circle, and her shot is deflected by Huber. Minnesota breaking out here is Murphy. Plays it in right over the head of Hunt, but it comes on goal. Gasco elects to play it. Hunt behind the net, almost turned it over to Bouvang. As now Jope Smith with the outlet here for Lowry. Pushes it towards the Minnesota net. Gave Lucy Morgan a little ice shaving shower. And of course, teams tend to not like when you do that to their goaltenders. Yeah, that's never going to go over well. Leighton in with a couple extra shoves, as she should. You can see Lowry trying to get some mojo going for the Bulldogs, needing 2 goals here in the last 3:40. It's a tough hill to climb, but we'll see if they have it in them.
Maggie Nicholson controls as the Gophers win the draw in their own zone. Tape to tape, Lightnin up ahead, left wing. Audrey Wethington dumps it to the end wall. Getting to it first, Lauren O'Hara. Now gets tied up. Audrey Wethington comes in behind the net here as stepping through, though, is Furman to knock it away. Played up and out of the zone. As Madeline Wethington picks it up at the center ice dot, will fire it back in. We approach the 17-minute mark here of the third. The Gophers back on top by 2. Feel a little more comfortable here if you're a Gopher fan, but you know, time winding down here if you're a Bulldog fan. Need your team to get something here in the next minute or two. Although we did see yesterday Minnesota State Mankato almost came down 3 goals in the last minute to tie St. Thomas, almost. They were down 3-0 with 44 seconds left, and they scored back-to-back goals. And had some time left, and from what I understand, had an opportunity to knock it home and tie the hockey game. So you never know. Ann and McMahon leading the rush. Trying to center, denied by Wethington. Peyton Hemp, she scored the second goal for Minnesota. Up ahead, Ava Lindsay gets a piece of it. No icing as Nina Jope Smith has to retrieve it here behind Gasco. We'll watch Gasco in the net here. If and when she gets pulled for the extra attacker. Here's Jope Smith pass. Knocked back in to the Duluth end by Lightnin.
Gophers need to take great care here to stay out of the box. Last thing you want is a potential 6-on-4 situation.
Here's Davis. Oh, Davis with a slap shot hard. Morgan got a piece of it, and it just trickled past the far post. That one very nearly going in, though, off the stick of Katie Davis, the senior from Boise, Idaho. You don't hear many Division I hockey players from the state of Idaho. Van Weeren back in. Here comes Gasco for the extra attacker. So 6-on-5 now. Empty net for Minnesota Duluth. Mary Kate O'Brien. High slot. Pulls it back. Shoots. Deflected. And it goes in. Deflected off a Minnesota stick, I believe. And it just goes in.
O'Brien lit the lamp last night. If it is her goal, it'll be the 6th of the season, 2nd of the series. We take a look here.
Yeah, moving, had the block, it clanked off the post, and it might have been tipped in at the last moment there by a Bulldog player.
And just barely got over the line as well. Kind of caromed around the cage, makes its way over the line.
So extra attacker goal, and the Bulldogs are back within 1. Here's the look. We'll see. Off the post, on the line, just did get it barely did get across.
Now we'll get a timeout taken by Coach Kroll. And yeah, it doesn't get too much closer than that.
I mean, it was maybe an inch over the line there.
They'll talk things over. Before the timeout was called, we saw Gasco really up between the dashes, ready to make a bolt for the bench. 75 seconds to go. Minnesota Duluth has turned the tides here, looking to add another extra attacker goal and send this one to our second overtime of the weekend.
So Mark Kroll calls the timeout. Here's a look at that again. You see Bouvang got a piece of the puck. It flutters, hits the post, and just did get across the goal line.
And if Madeline Wethington maybe had more room to wind it up, almost could have taken a baseball bat swing at it to knock it out. As you take another look here from the overhead.
I mean, it's just on the line, on the line. Yeah, Wethington, I think, had her stick hit the outside of the post. Otherwise, she could have pulled that back. And that is close, though. So now it's 3-2. So the Bulldogs still with life here, very much so. And now looking to pull Gasco for the extra skater again. Here comes Hannah Baskin up. Gets it in. McMahon will play it in. There goes Gasco. Extra skater on the ice here for Minnesota Duluth. Kaiser behind the net. Almost, did turn it over, but got it back, fortunately. Mary Kate O'Brien finds Van Weeren. Sweeps it up. Hannah Baskin at the line. Van Weeren with some room. Then loses the puck here. Peyton Hemp takes it away. Peyton Hemp Trying to go for the empty net. Blocked, though, by Basket. 33 to play as Mary Kate O'Brien back in across the line. McMahon shoots wide of the Minnesota net. Bouvang will clear out the center. 22 to go now here is back in again. Here come the Bulldogs. Madeline Wethington gets to this puck here on the end wall. Dug out. McMahon taken away by Bouvang. Bouvang trying to chip it ahead. Here comes Murphy. And Murphy buries it. And here we go. Well, we saw that in the NHL not that long ago. And the team against us, I think it was the Maple Leafs.
Like we said, no love lost between these sides. Murphy, goal number 31 on the year. She winds up and actually loses an edge into the corner, and then Van Wieren takes exception to that. They exchange some words.
Van Wieren was ushered right to the penalty box. So 4-2 Minnesota. The interesting handshake line here after that.
An exclamation point on the WCHA season. The Gophers earn the unconventional sweep over the Bulldogs here.
So penalty for Van Wieren at 19:55. And that'll just about do it here. And then at the horn, Lowry gives a shot to Kreis. And then another fist here thrown by Joe Smith. I think the referees would just send the teams to the locker room.